Hey, pretty girl, give me your cash and I won't mess up your fancy dress. I started, my pulse picking up as my brain processed the words. I was cold. Freezing, actually, and my feet were killing me. December in Indianapolis was bad enough. Add to it walking the streets alone at night wearing nothing but an evening gown and 4-inch heels, and you had the ingredients for a truly wretched experience. Well, at least I'd thought that was the worst it could get. Apparently, I'd been wrong. Turning, I watched as a man stepped out of the shadows. He was a hulking brute, big enough to easily outweigh me by 100 pounds or more. The scattered light from a nearby street lamp glinted off the knife he was holding, and I swallowed heavily. I hated knives. Knives meant pain, whereas guns meant death. Maybe I was in the minority, but death was the preferred of the two to my way of thinking. I wasn't a big fan of pain. I don't have any money, I said, trying to stay calm. I glanced around, keeping an eye on him as he advanced toward me. Unfortunately, no one was around. I backed away as he got closer, but knew I didn't stand a chance if I tried to run, not with these shoes.
Then I'll take the pretty necklace,
he sneered, leaping forward and grabbing my arm. I shrieked in surprise, but was silenced when he pressed the cold steel of the blade to my neck.
Shut up, bitch,
he snarled. I was breathing hard, fear and adrenaline pumping through my veins. He towered over me, pushing against me until my back was against the cold brick wall. The rough stones abraded the exposed skin of my back.
Give me the necklace or you'll regret it.
His breath was hot and fetid against my face. No, I said, helpless anger rising in me. I'd been given the necklace mere hours ago, Blane fastening it around my neck as I'd gotten dressed for this evening. It suddenly seemed terribly ironic that a night that had started with such promise was ending in terror. The day had begun well enough. I'd had the day shift at the Drop, a local place where I tended bar. I know the current in vogue term was mixologist, but neither I nor the patrons had any illusions about what I did, which was pour drinks. On Saturdays, I usually worked the night shift, but today I'd traded with Lucy so I could have tonight off to be with Blane. Blane Kirk was my boyfriend, although the term was at once both too adolescent and too committed to actually describe him and our relationship. Blane was a high-profile lawyer in Indianapolis, with aspirations for public office. A former Navy SEAL, he was over 6 feet of male perfection, complete with dirty blonde hair, a square jaw, and eyes a tantalizing mix of gray and green, the color drifting more one way or the other depending on what he was wearing. Women had been an interchangeable accessory to Blane, and I wasn't sure that wouldn't be the case with me. Blane and I had started dating about 6 weeks ago, right after Halloween. I know that doesn't sound like very long, but considering how often Blane usually changed girlfriends, I was cautiously optimistic. Optimistic about what? Well, I wasn't sure of that either. Considering the differences between us, it was difficult most days to believe that Blane would choose to be with me. As the daughter of a housewife and a police officer from Rushville, Indiana, Kathleen Turner, yeah, that's me, wasn't a name people knew. I take that back. People knew the name, but I wasn't that Kathleen Turner. Turner was the family name, and choosing a celebrity to be named after was the tradition. Just ask my dad, Ted Turner, or my grandma, Tina Turner. Except neither one was with me any longer, so I alone was left to carry on the Turner tradition or curse, depending on your point of view. I'd moved to Indianapolis 8 months ago and had taken a job working as a runner for Blane's law firm. It took both gigs to make ends meet, and I hadn't given up the day job, even though I was sleeping with the boss. Incredibly tacky of me, but I needed the job. We kept it discreet because while Blane didn't care at all what people said, I did.